anything ever. He's got to stay out of trouble, but he must be praying now. He must be imagining all the nasty things that could happen, and think of the thousands of things that can happen, even though the white flag has been shown by Pat Vidan. There's thousands of moving parts in there, any one of them, oh, nickels and dimes would buy them that could let him down.
Unofficially, we've had our Demon statistician Jay Milligan checking through the record books. It looks like he would be the second youngest winner ever of the Indianapolis 500, the youngest having been Troy Rutten. And there's Mike Mosley. Well, he's having a little fun unlapping himself there.
Well, he didn't go very deep there. Rick Mears backed right off and let him through there, because obviously Rick couldn't risk coming in contact with him or getting out of line, because mental concentration could get the better of him at this time.
Incidentally, AJ's going much, much slower, dropping way back at this point. Looks like he does have a problem. And here comes the checkered flag awaiting young Rick Mears at age 27. He has won the Indianapolis 500 for 1979. There is Roger Penske, the man who owns the crew, and the rest of the guys of the Penske operation. The celebration has already begun. There is Rick. It's unofficial and will stay unofficial until tomorrow morning, technically here. But they know it's all over. There's Penske again.
Coming up, Paul. Indication of 1 lap to go. Still a bit of traffic for the leaders to contend with as they take the white flag. And Mears moving on the inside of Rutherford has Al Unser directly in front of him. Bobby Unser running about 6 car lengths back. And Tom Sneva, who battled so valiantly, looking for his first win since '77, now finds himself fading in the number 3 position.
So Rick Mears, with 2 more turns left to go in the race. Car number 9, the Gould Charge, right behind the bright yellow car of Al Unser as they will come to the checkered. Here comes Rick Mears. Only a few hundred feet to go. He could almost coast to the finish. His teammate, Bobby Unser, right behind him, and Rick Mears has won the Trenton 150. Rick Mears is our champion here today. Car number 9. Second place, car number 12, Bobby Unser, and I'm sure a very disappointed Tom Sneva, who led for the white flag. Here comes Rick Mears off of turn number 4, gets the white flag. 1 more lap to go. We've got a lot of slower traffic in front of the leaders. Let's see if that plays a part in the outcome of the event. Rick Mears and Mario Andretti running 1-2 are on their final lap. They have about a half a lap to go down the backstretch around Larry Dixon. Look at Mario Andretti trying to get to the inside. Could not do it. Had to back off, and it appears that he is going to have to settle for second place as he's boxed in behind some slower cars. Rick Mears off of the 4th turn, and Rick Mears wins the second 125-miler. He has won both of these races. Mario Andretti finishes second. In 3rd is Johnny Rutherford, and in 4th, Gordon Johncock, and a happy Rick Mears crew.
Both cars handling at approximately the same way. The white flag is out. There is 1 more lap to go. If Andretti's going to do it, now is the time. There is slower traffic in front of them. Mears strings his way through. Larry Dixon directly in front of Mears. Andretti closing up. Now Mears has to contend with Larry Dixon and Jim Buick. Andretti trying on the inside. Mears chops him off in the 3rd turn as Andretti has to drop back, hits the brakes hard. Andretti in 2nd place cannot get around Jim Buick, and Rick Mears sails on to the checkered flag as Rick Mears has won this second 125-mile race of the day. Johnny Rutherford finishes in 3rd place, and a very, very happy crew. For the 2nd time in the day, Rick Mears' team has won a championship race.
For road course racing when he came up to the big cars, but despite that lack of experience and preparation, Gordy's done pretty well. He's won a lot of races on road courses.
And the white flag has been displayed not because there is an emergency vehicle on the racetrack, but because there is 1 more lap to go, and Rick Mears is on his final lap now. And he appears well on his way to victory. Gordon Johncock sneaking up right behind him. But don't forget that he is a lap down to the leader, Rick Mears. Johncock, though, is still challenging Rick Mears out there, even though it's the final lap. And look at Johncock to the inside. And I don't know, it appears that he came very close to forcing Rick Mears off the racetrack there.
Sure that he did. What he is hoping for, of course, is that there's a scoring error and that he is on the same lap and perhaps now in the lead. I think he'll realize after the race is over that that is not the case. But
in a situation like this, you don't want to gamble. If you can get that position, you better do it. And I'm surprised that Mears is not going a little bit harder to ensure his victory.
Rick Mears on his final lap of competition. Here he is entering turn number 8. A long straightaway, a sweeping right-hand turn, and then the start-finish line and the checkered flag for Rick Mears, who has led this race for several laps now. Again, he took over the lead from Al Unser on lap number 45. John Cock continues to lead Rick Mears, but John Cock running in second position, moving through turn number 9. Here is the leader through turn number 9, and Rick Mears now just a few feet away from the checkered flag and victory in the California 500. And there it is, the checkered flags are displayed, the twin checkered flags, and Rick Mears has won the California 500 at Riverside. A very long race that has taken over 3 hours to run, hampered by several yellow flag situations, including 2 very serious accidents. No driver injuries, though, and Gordon Johncock in car number 20.
Hogan's best finish in Indy cars was at the Milwaukee 150 last year, where he finished in second place. Now the white flag flies. Rick Mears has 2.5 miles to go to his first victory at the Pocono 500.
There's absolutely no way that Kevin Hogan can catch him now. Rick Mears has had the horsepower all day. He's had the handling. Unless he broke down in the last mile and a half, he's got this race all sewed up.
And there's Bobby Rahal. He is solidly in third place. Here's the leader, the Gould Charge, car number 1, Rick Mears, as he continues under power through the second turn. Now one short straightaway, then a turn, and then the checkered flag for Rick Mears. The car runs smoothly. He brings it into that sweeping radius turn, and now he can see the checkered flag. He's on the main stretch. Rick Mears comes across the line to the cheers of his crew and of the crowd as Rick Mears wins the Pocono 500. Kevin Cogan comes across in second place. The 2 Penske cars, 1 and 2 at Pocono.
Cars out of this race after a very optimistic qualifying run, which saw him set on the outside of row number 1.
And the white flag is being displayed to our leader, Rick Mears. He's on his final go-round of this 2-mile racetrack. We'll watch him negotiate the turns in the back stretch here on the final lap. There are a few cars ahead of him, a little bit of traffic to contend with, but that should give him no particular problem as he moves out of turn number 2 down the back stretch to the inside of the slower cars.
He's got to be thinking about last week when he saw Teo in his Mears and had a problem driving into another mirror, if you will. This was Roger Mears.
Yeah, he might be thinking about him and his brother for the last lap last week.
And here he comes off of turn number 4. The checkered flag displayed to Rick Mears from Bakersfield, California, the winner of the Detroit News Grand Prix here at Michigan International Speedway. Rick already with that.
Rick Mears has 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go to win his second Indianapolis 500. At the age of 32, he won in 1979. 5 years later, he is on his way to victory again.
Boy, would he like to win this one, because there were many that said the first one.
There's his mother.
There's his mother, Rick's mother. Many of them said that the first one he won here was a little bit of a fluke. He was still so new to the game. This one's no fluke at all.
No question about that. And then, of course, he almost won another in that breathtaking finish with Gordon Johncock, where he lost by 16/100ths of a second.
Very little of this race to go, Jim, and I think it's going to come in just before it rains.
Crowd waving to him, the applause growing, the checkered flag for Rick Mears. He's won the Indianapolis 500 with a hand in the air.
Yep, hand in the air.
There's his mother. And Al Unser, who we believe to be finishing second in the race. There's been some confusing on the scoring system at the racetrack here about that. We believe Al Unser is second, but there, still with that hand in the air, is Rick Mears. Kathy Penske more emotional than Rick's parents.
Yep, as I said, it's so hard.
Bobby
That
Rahal
joy.
monitoring off the radio. We believe the white flag coming up. Yes, starter Nick Bonora waving the right flag, and Rick Mears has a comfortable lead. Rick Mears looks like he may be making the most of one of his infrequent rides in the 1985 season into turn number 1. He's got 2 straightaways and a half to go. He'll now approach the long pond straightaway down the B, almost the backstretch, 3/5 of a mile in length. It's pretty long, but it sets you up for the most precarious corner in this racetrack. He moves to the inside of Emerson Fittipaldi. Rick Mears over the tunnel corner, now down to the North Straight, 1/3 of a mile, 1,780 feet. Now he approaches turn number 3. It's not a negative camber corner, but sometimes it seems like it because it's so long, agonizingly long. Rick Mears comes out of turn number 3, looks up. It looks like he's going to win a 500-mile race, and the checkered flag is for Rick Mears. Al Unser Jr. will net second position. Al Unser Sr. is third, and Bobby Rahal, after a very late pit stop for a tire that has gone down, is relegated to a disappointing 4th position. But
Because of the way they strategized that last pit stop.
Rick Mears, 1 lap to go. A simple 2.5 miles. Is there enough fuel? Jeff Brabham runs in 2nd place. Can he catch Mears in this lap? It's not likely if Mears stays on the power. But can Mears finish the lap? It's a tremendous gamble for the Penske team. They've decided to go the whole distance. There's no stopping now for Rick Mears, and there will be no other laps. This is the final lap. Car number 8, the Pennzoil. It is a march. It is powered by Chevrolet. This would mean the first win for Chevrolet at 500 miles. Can they get it done? There is still a question. Look at Chris. She praised this car around. If she could pick it up and carry it, she would. It's the final turn for Rick Mears. There are 2 checkered flags, and there they are. Rick Mears comes across the line, slows down as he does it. I think he ran out of fuel as he came to the line. Rick Mears, he's done it. A 2-year dry spell is over.
Change the order of things. So on to the main straightaway, the 4th and final turn. The final lap now being completed. The pace car will actually see the checkered flag first. And there is the checkered flag alongside the yellow. Rick Mears has won his 3rd Indianapolis 500, and Chevrolet has won at Indy.
Rick is one happy person. 3-time winner. Another one of the big group of 3-time winners. Look at Trent. Penske just continues to set records.
Rick Mears won the Indy 500, only the 2nd time he ever raced here. What a prodigy of the Speedway. 2nd place in an amazing...
It has to worry him whenever in his last laps he's got to pass somebody.
Oh, it certainly does. It's so many times. There's a white flag, 1 lap to go. So naturally they worry about it because so often a driver loses at the very last. He runs over something, somebody bumps him, or whatever. Now Chris is worried about it. Roger's worried about it. Of course, Rick is too.
So Rick Mears, perhaps he is about to join that list of drivers that have won both Indianapolis and Milwaukee. The checkered flag comes out, the twin checkered flag, and Rick Mears has won back-to-back races. First the Indianapolis 500, and now the Milwaukee 200, his 23rd IndyCar victory.
Yeah, the last time anybody did that Indy and Milwaukee back-to-back was Tom Sneva back in 1983, and it happens very rarely, only 6 times in the 40-year history of these 2 races.
See him get to the end with no problem, Paul.
The fight will be for 2nd place as they come to the line. The white flag out for Rick Mears, as now he can almost coast to a finish in this race. The concentration will be on this fight. Al Unser Jr. being closed by Danny Sullivan. Danny Sullivan in that gold and white car, the right side of the screen. Sullivan closes in. Rick Mears comes off of the 4th turn, sees the checkered flag just ahead, and Rick Mears has won the Auto Works 200. And Danny Sullivan is right behind Al Unser Jr. as they come to the line. So Rick Mears, the Penske team, has won the race. The Pennzoil car triumphs. We'll be back.
Scoring stand as he comes around. She will tap out 199 laps.
And Nick Finaro shows the white flag, indicating one more lap to go to Rick Mears. Michael Andretti runs in second place. Teo Fabi, if he can maintain his position, will see the best finish of his career in the Porsche car as they continue to move forward. Rick Mears working his way around now. Back to the home stretch again. Twin checkered flags in the hands of the starter, and Rick Mears has won the Miller High Life 200. Rick Mears wins here in Milwaukee, and he does so at record speed, nearly 6 miles an hour faster than Mario Andretti's record set in 19.
And Rick Mears onto the pit straight. Flashes across the line again. Getting closer. 83 laps are now complete. And the white flag showing to Rick Mears. Can he hold on for this final lap? Mario Andretti closed down to just under 4 seconds as they came across the line. Rick Mears now begins the long climb through the carousel and then up the hill. But you can see the number 5 car, that handling machine of Mario Andretti, is closing in. A right turn ahead and then a left. And then they climb the bank. That burns up this methanol fuel as they climb to the top of the hill. Andretti trying to close in, trying for the best finish of this season. And there he is, right behind Rick Mears. Can he get the entire lap going? Let's listen, see how those engines are sounding. Mario down through the corkscrew. Picking up every bit of momentum that he can as he comes down the hill. Kevin Kogan lies just in front of Rick Mears as Mears comes toward the final turn now. Down the hill, making that final left-hander. Rick Mears on the pit straight now. Kogan ahead, no factor in this finish as Rick Mears looks for the checkered flag, and he's done it. Rick Mears has won the champion spark plug 300 and scored a road race victory. I think Roger's happy at that with almost anything else. Jim Williams is there, Jerry Brehan, the members of the crew. Boy, they are pleased with that one. The fight coming to the bottom of the hill.
At Laguna Seca. And a flag flies. A mere mile to go for Rick Mears now. Will he score another win? He won here in 1982 and last year on the backstretch. Unchallenged. Very little lies between Mears and the checkered flag now. The Pennzoil car works its way off of the 4th turn. Nick Finaro, the starter, has twin checkered flags, and Rick Mears has scored the first win of the 90s.
Losing here today.
So Rick Mears, as he comes onto the straightaway this time, sees the white flag indicating one more mile to go. $250,000 lies just ahead for Rick Mears, and perhaps his second victory of the season, his first scored back at the first race at Phoenix, Arizona, as Mears with Mario Andretti right behind on the track, but not in competition with him, just behind. In second place, his teammate Fittipaldi. Allinger Jr. runs in third place as the checkered flag comes out for Rick Mears, the winner of the 1990 Marlboro Challenge. A Penske car powered by Chevrolet. Chris Mears, his wife. Well, a little more into the account for her. Barbara Hellier, the chief scorer in the Penske team. They're happy and excited. Penske finishes first and second with Fittipaldi in second place. Allinger Jr. in third. Ari Leyendyk with a superlative run up to fourth. Fifth place is Mario Andretti.
Desperate try to try and catch him.
On a day that sees what may be the retirement from competition by the great 4-time winner, A.J. Foyt, we may see another 4-time winner crowned in Rick Mears.
And the white flag has been thrown to Rick Mears, indicating 1 lap to go. Now less than 2 miles for Rick Mears. If he holds on, he will become the third 4-time winner of the Indianapolis 500 here on the 75th running of the great race. Chris Mears as Rick runs the straightaway. One corner left to go. 1 corner left to run. He can see the checkered flag just ahead of him now. Rick Mears has accomplished what only 2 men have before. He is now a four-time winner of the 500, as he waves to Michael Andretti, who is alongside in the crowd. The race has been run for the 75th time, and Rick Mears picks it up. Third place
every lap, now to 3.8 seconds, as Rick Mears works his way off of the fourth turn and now sees the white flag in the Michigan 500. Rick Mears may be on his way to back-to-back 500-mile race wins.
Well, he certainly earned it. He certainly deserves it after that. But here's the guy right there, Arie Luyendyk, who's really put the pressure on and surprised everybody. Look at Chris Mears. Poker face. She's been to a lot of races.
Rick Mears on the backstretch. Arie Luyendyk trying to close. The distance is probably too far. Rick Mears works his way through three. Here comes Luyendyk as he comes through three as well. Now Mears makes the final turn down for the start-finish line, and Rick Mears has won the Michigan 500. His 8th 500-mile race win and the 29th win in his IndyCar career. Rick Mears has picked up a win at the Michigan 500, and we have to leave you rather quickly with Rick Mears, the winner of the race. Arie Luyendyk unofficially in second. Al Unser Jr. in third. Mario Andretti in fourth. So long from the Michigan 500.